Hey, welcome back to the Dennis Herrera Show. It is the afternoon, evening time. How are you, Tanya? Welcome back. My man, welcome back. I see you guys want some more. Well, I got some more for you guys. This one, I don't know how proud we can be of sharing, but we got some more for you guys. It's a real shame, actually, but it must be done. It must be done. It has to be done because we need to look out for the next generation, and I feel that the next generation needs to be held accountable. And those who are teaching the next generation should be held accountable. So you may have seen this already. You may have. But I am going to go ahead and show it here in my hour. Give me 1 second here. Just one last little minute touch that I forgot to do before I jumped in here. And let's do that. Yeah. All right. I got 5 people on this live stream so far. Well, about 17, but, we'll see. 7 is what I can see the most. It's good to see both of you guys on here. We'll give it a shot. As a matter of fact, you know what? Every time when we start our live, we always get those people later on that ask a question about something that we have already addressed. Right? So I'll do a little quick recap of today. But first, let me sip my last cup of coffee for the night, for the day. Happy Friday again. Happy Monday again to everybody. Yeah, it's good to have both of you guys in here. So earlier we touched up on who has the right to vote. And we are very clear that it's only American citizens. We know Biden allowed millions of illegal immigrants to come through the border. Gavin Newsom kept his mouth shut because he knew that it was going to benefit him. Very interesting. Thank you guys for giving the thumbs up there as soon as you come in. I appreciate it. I'm going to show you guys a couple of videos you're not going to be too happy about. Well, there's a lot of videos that we're not too happy about, but there is one, and we're going to start with one about AOC. I'm sure you guys already seen this. You already heard it, but I just got a couple of things that I want to point out. We're going to go ahead and wait and see if we get a few more people because they don't want to miss this part. All right, so American citizens are the only ones that have the right to vote. Nobody else. We are against illegal immigration. And we talked about the reputation that we have as Americans. And that reputation, my friends, bothers the world. Even some entitled people just don't know when to quit. You know what? Just be happy that you live in a free country and free of tyranny, where you have freedom rights that you enjoy, that you and I can both enjoy. And even those rights that we don't like, but help us get along, help us respect each other. Why do we talk mean sometimes? Number one, we're adults. We're adults. And this whole, you talk too mean, that's very childish. Happy President's Day, President Trump. Obama is not a president. He is an ex-president. I'm just kidding. Every president. Happy President Day to every president out there. But most importantly, President Donald Trump. He is the best of the best of the best of the best. As you have noticed, I went from my white day hat to my night black hat. I know how much you guys like my Trump hats. I will say this in a couple of months. Matter of fact, next month, I'm going to be ordering some new hats with a new slogan for my campaign. And I'm pretty sure that you guys are going to be rocking some of that. And I think I'm going to do it as a way or as a means to collect money to run the campaign. And to be honest, we're not going to go all crazy and paid millions of dollars of advertising. We're just not going to do that. We're just not going to do that. We're going to use the tools that are available to us. We're going to be using the tools that are available to us. Very simple. Ah, man, what a damn shame. I'm going to tell you something. I don't blame these kids at all. I'm going to talk about these kids. I don't blame them at all because they have been taught by adults how to behave. And when I think about adults that have been teaching the kids the wrong thing, it reminds me of BCJ, the Indian from India that just can't stay in India. I wish it would make India great again instead of bothering us here in the United States of America. All right. Yeah. All right. The hat is happy or gay, however word you want to use. But I'm going to tell you something before we start talking about these kids. We're going to talk about some kids protesting. They act, they imitate, and they respond to things that you and I will react differently as adults. I'm going to tell you something. Okay, so BCJ, he says he's from Somalia, but we know how it is. Everybody wants to be Somalia today. Everybody that likes fraud wants to say they're Somalis. They are the most victim affected people right now. Fraudsters, fraudulent Somalis. That's what I call these pirates. So stay your politics in Somalia. Go make Somalia great again. You're a little 3 years older than me doesn't mean anything. Your low IQ does not compare to my children's IQ. And I wish that you had something better to say so that I can fight for you. But you know what? Everything Somalis do makes us want to fight against them. Everything Somalis do makes them look guilty of fraud. And I know that the blue government here in Washington State is covering some of it. So you better pray that I don't become the governor of Washington State, because everything will be investigated. Everything will be audited. And I think that there is a lot more Democrats out there and Republicans that want transparency. I would like to believe that the people of Washington State wants somebody to be honest for once, to care for once about the well-being of Washingtonians, and I'm talking about American citizens and residents. That's my Washingtonian people. And I would like to believe that people are tired of things being hidden from them. That's why they don't understand. That's why the people fight. There would be no reason to fight if politicians would be straightforward with people. Politicians have a bad reputation of being liars. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm an immigrant who became a resident, who became an American citizen. And I, for one, will not stand idle while others try to take advantage of our system. Fraud from Somalis, the pirates, fraud from anybody in Washington State will not be tolerated. I can't wait to be able to work with the federal government on immigration. I will be the first one to get the police chief to do his job 100%. And if they cannot be real men in the police department, we're going to put some real men in the police department. We will use part of the budget to bring more police force in our cities here in Washington State. Collaboration 100% with ICE agents, with the federal government. That's what I want. Why do you say, do I want that? Because as a migrant, the reason why we come to this country, supposedly, well, it's because it's better than the one that we were born. In my case, it's true. The difference is I am not forcing myself on it. I am not disrespecting the American people. You know what ticks me off the most about illegal immigrants? Is those criminal illegal immigrants that go on the street protesting as if they have the right to protest. Someone lied to them and told them they can protest our government. If you're waving the Mexican flag, go protest in Mexico. If you're waving the Guatemala flag, go protest in Guatemala. If you're waving the Palestinian flag, go protest. Oh, that's right, you guys don't have a country. But anyway, go protest somewhere in the Middle East. Go protest in Gaza. If you're waving a Somali flag, get the hell out of my country and go to your pirate country. See what you can do over there. So proud of being Somali? Show me how to make Somalia great again. You can't. The low IQ just doesn't allow it. I wish you'd come over here and say, man, you know what? We have so many bad things in Somalia. I am so thankful for the United States of America. Thank you, Americans, for giving us a chance to life, to freedom. Instead, you waste our patience. You're interrupt our way of life and play the victim card to try to make us look bad in our house. Well, guess what? We're sick of that. We're sick and tired of your frauds, your pirates. Go back to where you came from, they say. If you were born here, hey, congratulations. You're an American citizen. Now act like one. If your parents are from Somalia, you are not Somali. Man, I love telling the truth out loud. I love telling the truth out loud. Yeah, that's right. And don't you forget it. Cardinal just reminded me. Remember, Dennis, even Somalia now use voter ID. Use Somali. Oh, wait a minute. I have to sign in to the chat so that I keep forgetting to sign in to the chat on the browser so that I can like and say things in the chat. Oh, I got a couple of things. I got one thing because Dosito reached out to me, so I'm going to touch up on one thing because of Dosito. Now, before we get to the nitty-gritty of protesters here in the United States of America, I'm going to tell you something. I gave you guys that little something last time about my child over there protesting. I'm going to tell you something. These teachers, they use the most gullible. My son is special, just so you know. He's very special. And sometimes he doesn't know what he's doing. And so, to be honest, I wonder, is anybody on the chat here, and remind me of this, if there is any lawyers on this chat, let me know. If my son or anybody else has special needs and the teacher tells them to go out on the street and protest with a sign that says F ICE, can I sue the school district for using my son and others to do this rhetoric or whatever the hell they want to call it, this movement? Would you ask them? My son is a minor. I'm the father. I want to sue the school district for allowing our children who are minors to skip class and go protest. And let me tell you why I think there is a case. Thank you, Dosito. I want to hear. Let me tell you why I think I have a case. When my children miss school for too many days, they send me threatening letters. I will go to jail if they don't go to school. So guess what? It's showtime. It's showtime. Hey, who knows? Maybe this would be. See, here we go. So here you go, Mr. Somali. BCJ Somali. Let me tell you something. Just because we have a freedom of speech, it doesn't mean you get to say whatever the hell you want through my child without my permission. You understand? As a teacher, their duty is to teach them in school mathematics, science, social studies, history, language arts, writing, reading, etc. But you don't use my innocent child. I'm a little bit upset. You don't use my gullible child to do your bidding. I'm seriously considering suing the school for this. These activist teachers gotta go. They gotta go. They got to be held accountable for. And if you are a teacher and you are encouraging these minors to go protest, I want you in front of me. I want you in front of me to tell you how much I love you. I want to embrace you with a nice, tight hug. And I want to make sure you're included in the suit. All right, let's take a look. Oh, yes, brother, you can sue them 100%. They have to ask permission for fathers. Easy win. Number one, I'm going to tell you why I agree with you, Cutting Edge. Every time my son has to go to a trip, to the library, anywhere during school hours, they need my permission for them to participate. And I got to sign off on it. I got no paper. They did this behind my back. Yeah, that's right. You know what? I'm actually going to do that. I'm actually going to go ahead and see if I can sue them. And I'm going to make that public once I get through. I'm going to reach out to a couple of my people, a couple of friends of mine who are actually journalists. And I'm going to call tomorrow. I'm going to make some phone calls tomorrow to some lawyers and see if we can do this. Oh, man, they don't know what they started. Sue the district and the teacher, make the teacher broke. Absolutely. Look at the fraudster. Look at the fraud BCJ Somali. Look at the fraudster. You can't sue. You can't sue. Don't call me brother. You're a pirate. I am no brother of pirates. I am no brother of pirates. All right, let me show you something. Let me show you something. If the parents signed the form and said, all right, go on, go out there and protest. Watch this. I want you to pay attention. Now, this is a video from a friend of mine. This is Brandy Cruz from Undivided. Now, I have told you guys, if you come to my channel, go to Brandy Cruz. She's a great journalist. And I am going to reach out to her about this once I make it official. Thank you, Docito, Cotton Edge. Thank you guys for the support. Excuse me. We will sue the district. I'm gonna let you guys know what the conversation goes tomorrow. If I cannot sue them, all right, I'll go ahead and accept that. But I have to talk to some lawyers before I say anything. So if you guys know of any lawyer, you put out there, my son is a minor. He was told during school hours to go out there and protest. They never let me, the father, know about this. Yeah, of course you're proud, you pirate. Well, you ain't no Pirates of the Caribbean. You guys are the dirty pirates, the one that sleeps with your own sisters. Yeah, we don't play that, homie. You can keep that shit over there in Africa. We don't do that over here. Well, I don't know. Maybe some people do, but the majority of us don't. Look at BC's over here crying. He is nervous. He's like, oh, shoot. They're going to start suing? Man, they're not going to let the kids go out there and protest no more. They're going to have to wait till they're 18 to protest. They're going to have to wait until they're off school to protest. Well, guess what? It's too late. They did this during school hours. Check this out. You guys see them on the screen? I want you to listen to this. Credit where credit's due. Undivided. Why is she not in the whole screen here? Oh, that's because I'm a little bit bigger. All right, let me minimize this just a bit here, so I can put her on just about there. Why does it seem like I'm creating some type of painting here? There you go. Undivided. Violent student protest. Check this out. Look at this guy. This reminds me of BCJ. These kids remind me of BCJ. What, Gus Pritchett? What did Gus say? What did Gus say? What stupid thing did Gus say? Don't ruin their education. Yeah, they're already ruining their education, my friend. They are already ruining their education. I want exactly to do that. Educate the children. Stop indoctrinating them into your stupid ass agenda. Be neutral. Don't teach church. Don't teach LGBTQ. Teach mathematics. Read. Write. Teach school stuff that's going to help them in their future. How many people sing out there? The children are the future. Oh, come on, man. They are the future. They are not now. First, they got to grow up to make decisions. 18 years old is where we put the bar. 18 years old to vote. Until you can vote, you have no say. You understand? Not when it comes to this. Not when it comes to protest against something legitimate. Against something that is constitutional. Against something that is helping our country. What teacher told them, oh yeah, that's right, ICE agents are bad? Who the hell does that in school? All right. This video is about 11 minutes, so pay attention, especially libtards. J Money, you know the crying. You know the crying. All right, let's take a look.
So Enumclaw, Washington is not the place where I would expect this to happen. Here's some video from the student walkout there.
Are you threatening me? Why should I be scared if my family's gonna die?
Watch this. Here is an ignorant, probably 14 years old, maybe 15, with an F Trump, F ICE. I wonder who taught them that. Now listen to her mouth. Now there is a special, what do you call that? Syndrome something. Down syndrome kid over here protesting. He don't know what the hell is going on, but he is out there. He is out there. Watch this.
What'd you say?
I said what I said. You deaf, you might want to rehear the video.
Discipline. How about a whooping at home? I can't imagine how she talks to her mom. Let me guess. She's a libtard that says, I'm her best friend. Shut the hell up and become a parent, will you? No parent should say, oh, I'm my son's best friend. Oh, I'm my daughter's best. No, I am the father of my son and my daughter. BCJ, I'm going to put you in timeout because you're corruption. You're so low IQ. You think this bad behavior is good. You know what? You're a pirate. You will praise everything that is bad. 30 minutes, timeout. Go to the corner and think about what you did wrong. Let's see. They have every single right to protest like the 70s, just like the Vietnam War. I don't give a shit. You want to make my son go protest, you let me know because I'm the father. If you need permission to go on a field trip, to leave the campus, the school campus, you need my permission and let me know where my son goes, especially when you're asking him to go protest. And yes, he told me his teacher asked him to protest. So they're screwed.
Learn how to use your ears. You look deaf.
I just wanted to confirm it, so I made sure I heard what I was saying.
My God, we would have shot.
Thank you.
So look at this trans kid right here. That's a boy right there, acting like he's a girl. That's pathetic. That is very pathetic. But this is the ideology that they're teaching in schools. This is what libtards are all about. This is what the new socialists are all about. This is what Democrats want. They are committing child abuse, and they get away with it. This is completely 100% the parents' fault. And I told my son, if you were in that crowd, I would have whooped your ass. Because I don't teach you that. I teach you to respect authority. Respect law enforcement. This is the Democrat Party here in Washington State. This is exactly the next generation that they're training. And I want you to pay very close attention because this is exactly what they're turning our future into. These little monkeys right here will never be able to defend this country. Do you understand what I'm saying? When these Democrats got into their head to use this stupid ass ideology. Our country, the world, started falling apart because people don't understand that the United States of America is big bro. Whether you like to admit it or not is irrelevant. That is the truth. And that's why every single country sends their people over here. And they come here to destroy us. Don't be naive. That's what they come here for. Those people who don't want to be vetted, that's exactly what they come here for. To take advantage of our system and destroy our country. Oh man, that's pathetic right there.
So death threats from a teenage girl to a male there, an independent journalist. If we had guns, we would have shot you. And first of all, not to make light of this, but does she not remind you of the Cash Me Outside girl? Catch Me Outside, how about that on the Dr. Phil show? Look it up if you're not familiar. Absolutely insane. And then that was a threat of violence, but things actually turned violent when that same man was punched on camera by a teenage girl.
Look at that. Boom. Assault.
Police.
She thinks she's safe. She thinks she's untouchable because she's a minor. Well, somebody done told her wrong. And I hope her parents whoop her ass when she gets home.
To their credit, in Enumclaw, Washington, you know, the male streamer who was there, he reported his assault on camera, big goose egg, to the police, and the police went in there to make arrests. So they're taking out the girl who punched the guy on camera, and you can see
Felicia.
Some of the other kids. Look at that. Assault a cop, impede arrest.
Wait a minute. I got to put this on regular speed. I want you to listen to these children.
And when she starts crying and she was walking away, I want my mommy. Okay, well, don't impede law enforcement.
Listen to her.
This whole video is crazy. Look at her stomp her feet, throw a temper tantrum. This is called consequences. So Chief Tim Floyd, he's the chief.
She literally stomped her foot on the ground and said, I want my mommy. She said that, literally said that. Now, for whoever are the morons that think our children are mature enough to go out there and protest, let me tell you something. Comparing the children of the 60s and 70s to the children of today is a big misunderstanding. Big, huge difference. Big, huge difference. Our generation is up. They're screwed. The next generation is screwed. And I blame the current generation of idiots that we have in our time. How embarrassing and frustrating is it that we live in the best country in the world and we let retards run it? How does it happen? What the hell is wrong with people today? What did they put on the vaccine? What was on the COVID-19 shot? Besides fetus. What was on the shot? Their brains, everybody's brains is so screwed up. I think we have allowed too many damn migrants to be in this country using their low IQ, dumb ass people to run our country. Man, I have no compliments to give any of these people. You teach them to punch, to cuss out adults, to rebel against police, to rebel against federal government. What the hell do you think is going to be the consequences of these children turning into a life of rebellious teenagers? They're going to grow out to be even worse adults. It should frustrate you. It should piss you off. You wish Trump was low IQ. You can't even do 1/10 of what he is doing. Our children go to school so that they can learn to have a better future for themselves, not to make an ass out of themselves. Let's see what the sheriff says.
Of the Enumclaw Police Department. He was nice enough to join us today to give us an update on where their investigation stands. Chief, welcome back to Undivided. Interesting weekend or what?
Yeah, it's been definitely an interesting weekend here in Enumclaw.
Yeah.
For sure. Not something we typically deal with.
Yeah. So as things stand, how many arrests resulted from this student walkout?
As of right now, we have 2 arrests, and they were taken into custody, physically taken into custody on Friday, and eventually released to their parents.
Okay.
Because they did not meet the booking standards for the King County Juvenile Jail. And we are also reviewing video extensively and maybe bringing charges against a couple other participants.
How young were the kids that got arrested that we've seen get arrested on video?
They were anywhere from 15 to 17 in that age range.
And my understanding of the 2 is it's the one accused of punching the man on camera and then somebody who tried to interfere with the arrest?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the original arrest was for an assault and then resisting arrest. And then one of her friends interfered, so she was taken into custody for obstructing a law enforcement officer.
Yeah, as you said, you're reviewing video. The one that stands out to me is obviously the young woman who is saying that she would have killed one of these people if they had guns. Is that an individual who you're investigating for potential charges?
We are looking at that to see if that can meet the elements of the crime of criminal harassment. And we're also looking at another potential assault of the same victim, another potential obstructing action, and then another assault on an officer from a gal that was caught on video spitting on one of my officers.
And all juveniles?
They appear to be correct.
So I guess the question I have at the onset is, like, where were the adults? When I watched this, and I know the school has said, we didn't condone this or whatever it is, and there's all this back and forth about whether schools can actually stop kids from walking out. And I don't even want to get into the First Amendment part of it. But, I mean, were there no adults present?
There were adults present. They were, from my understanding, they were across the street watching, acting as quote-unquote chaperones, apparently. I don't know who any of them are. I don't know if they are associated with the school district or not, or if they're just parents. But yeah, there were adults in the area for sure.
Would you have hoped that they would have intervened?
I would have hoped that they would have, yeah, before it got out of hand, for sure.
Wow. I mean, what do you make of just the scene of there's this video and there's officers in it and the kids sort of following and almost mobbing the officers as they're trying to take someone into custody? I mean, that's a tough situation for law enforcement, is it not? Because, I mean, if it's adults, you lay down the law, and you guys did make arrests, but when it's kids, does that complicate things?
The whole scene is complicated. We knew about this walkout and we monitored from a distance. We actually had a police drone monitoring the whole thing from when they left the high school until they got up to City Hall. We had officers in the area, and when the assault victim came and reported to our officers that were nearby, our officers went to contact that suspect, and she took off running. And there was a short foot chase, which hasn't gotten much coverage on social media. And then she stopped in the middle of State Route 169 and was blocking traffic, and we went to arrest her, and she wanted to resist arrest at that point. And that's when the mob kind of followed over there and surrounded officers, and then you've seen the video from there. Yeah. Luckily, it was in close proximity to our jail, and we could just walk her right into our jail.
Yeah. Have you gotten any sort of pushback from community members about affecting arrests on student protesters?
We have not. The overwhelming message from our community, and even messages that I've received from across the country, has been supportive of the actions that we took. Of course, we want to protect everybody's First Amendment right to free speech, but that doesn't give you a pass to commit crimes. And I commend my staff for the way they handled themselves. We are a small department. We don't deal with a lot of civil unrest type issues out here. But when it happened, they acted with great teamwork and patience and professionalism and restraint. and took care of the situation so nobody else got hurt.
Yeah, and to the point you just made, for people who aren't familiar, because obviously these videos have gone all over the place, Enumclaw is just not the kind of place where this stuff happens. So when I saw the video, I'm like, what the hell is going on? I mean, how do we make sense of something, this mob sort of mentality and what some of these juveniles did in a town like yours?
Well, you can't really make sense out of it. There was opposing views in the demonstration or protest themselves, and that's what makes your right to free speech such a great thing, is that you can have opposing views and you should be able to talk about differing opinions. But I think the lack of maturity of some of the protesters didn't allow for healthy debate, and it turned to assault real quick, and then it kind of downward spiraled from there.
Yeah, I'm sure we're all in agreement in thinking this can't be allowed to happen again and again. I mean, we can make arguments about to what extent can these kids be allowed to just walk out of school in the middle of the day, but have you or are you going to have meetings with the school district to try to figure out how we can avoid a scenario like this again?
We will be following up with the school district. I've actually spoke with a school board member this morning, and there will be further discussions for sure. We enjoy a very healthy relationship with our school district and have good open communication with them. So yeah, there will be some discussions going forward for sure.
Yeah, as far as messaging, and I don't know the extent, we've had other school districts where school employees have definitely been encouraging these walkouts. I can't say that that's the case in Enumclaw. I'm not familiar with any specific instances, but as you said, there were adults present. The political environment is just very heightened right now. And I do think a lot of these kids are being influenced by what they hear on, whether it's at home or at school or on the internet, from adults. What would your message be to adults who are responsible for these children?
Well, my message is, educate them about what it means to have the right to free speech. And this doesn't give you a free hall pass to go out and create hate and discontent in your community.
Yep.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But everybody doesn't have the maturity to express their opinion in a way that creates healthy discussion. And what has been happening around the country and what a lot of these kids are seeing is they go out and they think that their right to free speech is to create heightened tensions, and that's not what it's for. So I would just encourage parents and educators to have that discussion, what it really means to have a peaceful protest and go be able to talk about your viewpoints in a healthy and meaningful way.
Amen. And to your point, it's not just the kids who aren't mature enough to have healthy dialogue. I mean, they see that example from adults all over the place who are incapable of having healthy debate and dialogue.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely sad. Well, I'm sorry your department even had to deal with that. What a disaster. But I applauded it. I mean, like a lot of people around the country, I'm like, look, we cannot allow, just because they're juveniles, them to get away with that kind of conduct. And it was just unacceptable. So, Chief, thank you for joining us. And I look forward to hopefully hearing some productive dialogue between you and the school district to stop this from happening again.
Thank you, Brandy. Take care.
Just insane. I mean, insane. The way they were acting, the way they were speaking, the words they were using, what they were doing, I mean, on camera. I mean, some adults have failed those kids, with the exception of the mom that came and ripped her foul-mouthed little brat out of there. I just love that lady. So, so it looks like there's probably going to be more charges against these teenagers. I would have a hard time believing that the young woman who was threatening to shoot the streamer on camera is not going to be charged with something. I mean, I have criminal harassment cases that have been charged against individuals pertaining to me that have done less than that. And so we'll see what happens there, and we will follow up with the Enumclaw police. But because those videos were seen everywhere, we wanted to have him on the show today to explain what happened. That is some good police work right there. That's good policing.
Yep, I agree. Good police work. Thank you, Brandy Cruz. If you guys haven't subscribed to her channel, haven't seen her channel, I recommend you do see her channel. She's a great journalist. Used to work for as a journalist for the local news channels over here. Now she's independent, and she's got her own podcast, Undivided. I met her. She's a wonderful lady. Love Brandy Cruz. I'm going to be reaching out to her once we get this campaign officially on the way. And we're going to reach to a bunch of connections that we have through her and see how we can make Washington great again. We're going to change our slogan. Don't worry, guys. Calm down. Don't worry. We'll have our own slogan. When the time is right, it will come back to us. So what's happening over here is on Friday, I let you guys know that one of my kids was out there protesting F-ICE right here in Everett, in my town. And I told the kids in the morning, don't you go out there and do this because you're going to be in big trouble. And as I was driving by the street, I see these kids, these high schoolers, during school hours. And they're supposed to be in school learning. They're not supposed to be out protesting, especially when they don't know what the hell they are protesting. You have to understand something. I am all for the First Amendment. I'm okay. Hey, go knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. But I'm going to tell you something. If you are out there to create a hostile environment, there's consequences to doing that. I don't care how much freedom of speech you have. You do not have the right to harass people. That is not freedom of speech. That's harassment. This young teenager punched the guy. That's assault. She's about 17 years old. Lucky she's not 18 yet. She'd be in jail. And I hope that this guy actually takes the parents to court. He should. Press charges. Soon as she turns 18, put her ass in jail. What I got a problem with is I have noticed Democrats, they have paid protesters. Listen to this. They got paid protesters. That's not the problem. The problem is that they have paid protesters, but the people are handicapped. A lot of people are retarded. A lot of people have mental problems. And they go and abuse these people. I said bring asylums back. Cutting Edge is with me. We're going to bring asylums back here, back to Washington State. We need asylums. The kids that were protesting here in Everett, they were from a special ed class. I tell you because my son is in one of them. I don't like to say all this stuff out in public, but it needs to be said. I don't want to embarrass my kids. Oh, I got proof, Eric. Calm down. Don't be a libtard, please. Don't be a libtard on my channel. I don't just talk because of that video. I seen the students here, myself, on the street. They don't know what the hell they're doing. My son is 16. He doesn't even know why they're protesting like that. He doesn't even know why the Mexican flag was there. He said, Dad, I don't understand. Why were they saying those things? They don't know. And some parents who are irresponsible, they don't care. They teach their children to misbehave. Victimhood mentality from day one. They're racist. They hate this country. There's no problem with immigrants. The problem is invasion of illegal immigrants. None of this undocumented bull crap. Call them for who they are. Illegal aliens. Meaning that they are not here with permission from the United States of America and are from another foreign land. That's what an alien is. All the libtards, when they hear the word alien, they think extraterrestrial aliens. They don't know what the hell the alien word means. Resident aliens, meaning that you can stay in this country, but you come from a foreign land and you belong to a foreign land. Until then, until you become an American citizen, you stop being an alien to this country. You are an American citizen. Act like one. See, this is why This is why I am against the libtards that go protest every single thing. Every single thing, and that pisses me off. Is the right? Sure. But do something productive for society. Protesting the milk, okay. Protest the law here in Washington, okay. Protest police brutality, okay. Protest anything. But protesting Iraq, Iran, the Middle East, every country in Iraq, in Africa, and in South America, God dang it. Protest with a purpose. Do something for your country. Stop wasting time getting education. I bet you these kids don't even have good grades in school. And all they want is to skip class. It's what they want. Tell me, what position do we hold in education in the world? Let's look it up. Let's take a look. Oh man, this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good show. Oh, before we continue, it is a sad day today. We've lost Robert Duvall, an acting legend known for intense roles. He dies at the age of 95. 95. 95. For somebody who acts retarded, Eric, I'm going to call it as I sees it. I'm sure you're low IQ by the way that you react to my comments. One day, you too will have some brains, maybe. Let's take a look. I want statistics on education. Let's see. This is a list of the overall proportion of the population who have attained tertiary education. Whenever possible, the proportion is calculated from only those aged 25 and above, as this largely excludes the people who are still in the process of attaining tertiary education. Do you know what tertiary means? Eric, what's tertiary mean? Don't look it up. What does tertiary mean? You should know what it is. It's very simple. Eric, what's tertiary mean? Yep, may he rest in peace, brother. Ah, man, it's a long delay. I'll save you the trouble. It means college. It means college or university. That's right, a third. Third education, third level. Check this out. Man, what is going on? Let's take a look, guys. Maybe it's not too bad. Maybe it's not too bad. Here we go. Elementary, secondary, tertiary. You guys know what is elementary, high school, and college. Look at this. What the hell is this? Let me see. Maybe I'm on the wrong side. This is just who has attained like a bachelor's or something, I think. I will let you know we are not on this list. Oh my gosh. Bro, even American Samoa is in there. What's going on here? Bruh, that is crazy. Nicaragua was 172, and I still didn't see the United States in there. Wow. All right, maybe I should look at different statistics here. Let's see. What would you call it? What would you call it? There's a name for it. Anybody, give me a hand here. Help me out with this. What do you call it? Education what? I looked up education statistics by country. Let's see. Top 20 educated countries in the world. Let's take a look at this and see what's going on here. I don't know if this is going to be legit, to be honest. All right, let's see. Here are the top 20 most educated countries based on tertiary education attainment and education system quality. Somehow, Canadians are at the top. I already know this is wrong. I already know that these stats are wrong. I already know that this is already wrong. All right. Japan, I believe it. Israel, I believe it. South Korea, I believe it. United Kingdom, okay. And the United States of America. Number 6, tertiary education. Australia. Number 7, Finland, Norway, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Switzerland, Germany, Sweden, Denmark, Ireland, New Zealand, France, Belgium, Estonia, 20 countries. That's like I said, cutting edge. I don't believe the stats. I don't believe the stats. But what is the name? I'm looking for the damn statistics. I just can't remember what the hell it's called. What is the statistics that I'm looking for? Maybe I got a pirate Somali's low IQ as well. Let's see, somebody, come on, let me see. Lamar Jackson will be the president. We must keep order and obedience of law and country. Yada, yes. Let's see. Education levels. What is it? This is statistics. Okay, if somebody puts it on there, let me know. Let me know. Eric, you get triggered and you're not cut out to be a politician. Guess what, Eric? I don't give a shit what you think. You think I'm going to be your average politician? That's not how it runs, my friend. That's not how it works. See, that's the problem with society. Everybody wants to go play politics. I don't play politics. I like to use common sense. And I like to use what I have learned in life that I know that works. Like respecting the law, staying out of trouble. You want to go and say, you want to feel more American by using your freedom of speech? I'm going to say something. Shut the hell up. You will have a happier life, my friend. You will have a happier life. You like to be a nuisance to people, that's fine. You like to be responsible for violence on the streets, that's fine. I don't care what you think a politician is. You libtards, you socialist, Marxist, communists think you're going to educate me on politics? You're going to educate me on moral standings? You're going to educate me on law, immigration? You think you're going to educate me? You guys are not helping this country. That's right. So what if I yell? So what? Look at Obama. Obama didn't yell. And what did he do for America? Release Muslim terrorists back to Muslim countries. What did he do that was great for America? He made fun of the Bible. Got rid of the 10 Commandments from the Supreme Court. Guess what? They're back. They're back. Keep that opinion to yourself. Nobody asked you for your opinion. The fact that people don't respect other people's children bugs me. The fact that you think that we're supposed to be retarded like the rest of the people destroying our country is appalling to me. You're so used to getting your ears tickled with lies. But I don't talk lies. I speak the truth. And if you can't handle the truth, that's on you, my friend. Nobody's going to tell me how to talk. What happened to freedom of speech? freedom of expression. And yet every single libtard that comes through my chat, the first thing they do is bitch and complain about my hats. So what? Huh? Don't worry. I'll see you all on the campaign trail. You can cast your vote against me. You can cast your vote against me. That's fine. But let me just tell you something. After we get done running this campaign, if this state of Washington stays the same, that is your fault. And don't bitch and complain about your children's future, which right now is looking very gloomy. Let me tell you right now. You guys don't know what the hell is happening in our country. Let me tell you the kind of leaders. Let me show you the kind of leaders you like. Let me show you the politician that you want me to be. But guess what? I ain't. And that's right. Does it bother you that I yell? What's wrong with it? Tell me. What's wrong with it? So what? Did your freedom of speech supposed to be quiet? You don't complain about anybody protesting, cussing people out, using the F word, F you, threatening people's lives. You don't care about that. You worried about my truthful words and the level of altitude on the voice volume? That's what you complain about? Get out of here with that. This is the leaders that you like. This is the kind of politicians that libtards follow. Listen to how smart, how eloquent this woman is. Matter of fact, we're going to begin from the beginning. Let me tell you something. You'd rather have somebody that speaks soft and bends the knee to every libtard that says anything negative about the truth? Or do you want somebody that tells the truth like it is with passion and with love and with attitude behind it? Somebody that's not going to be a doormat to nobody. Nobody's going to bully us so that we become bad. We got to stand up to liars, to people who are used to abusing the system. There is no talking soft. There is no talking soft. We got to make it heard. We got to make it loud and clear. Let's take a listen at the kind of leaders that you support. Oh, Larry, perfect. Newscom and AOC. We'll give you 50% of that. Check this out. You don't have to be afraid, Eric. Who's telling you to be afraid? Stop being a puss. Stop being a puss. That's the problem. It's not about being afraid of nobody. It's about being able to do what's right. And you coming in here defending young teenagers, minors, protesting, becoming violent, using the F word to disrespect law enforcement. You think that your freedom of speech means go out there and piss people off. Go out there and become violent. Go out there and turn against the law enforcement that we have in this country to keep order. You're wrong. You're wrong, 100% wrong. Let's take a listen to your hero. Here you go. Here's AOC. Listen to the brains and how smart she really is. See, all of the Democrat libtards, not the smart ones. I know the smart ones out there. I need Democrat and Republican votes to be able to win. So I want those smart Democrats to be on my side. I want you to listen how easy it is for these libtards to go out there and say, oh, President Trump is screwing everything up. Oh, President Trump is doing this bad, and President Trump, blah, blah, blah. And you're saying all these negative things about President Trump. Well, here is your genius. Let's take a listen to your genius and see how she is going to handle diplomacy and the world.
No, I think China is, of course, an ascendant global power, growing very quickly, acting in its own self-interest. And oftentimes in Washington, there's this frame between conflict and competition. I think sometimes, depending on what's happening, that rhetoric can get a little conflict-driven. And I think that it's really a question of competition, and to the governor's point, fair competition. But when I think about that, I think about how the United States, if you want to assert oneself as a global competitor, the kinds of things that one would do in order to really assert that position is investments in science and technology, which we are gutting our NIH, we are gutting our health science research, we are cutting the very things that make us a global power in that respect in terms of government and public funded research, which is what allows innovation in a more broad sense as opposed to privatized research. We, an ascendant global power, would invest heavily in innovative energy solutions so that it could be sovereign in terms of, in that respect. And the United States at this point, instead of expanding our energy mix, we are actively narrowing our energy mix.
Wait for it.
Increasingly more reliant on fossil fuels, instead of, in contrast to what you see is happening in China. Yes, they burn a very large amount of fossil fuels, but they have also invested dramatically in wind and solar and in energy innovation. And so to me, I see this.
She literally said nothing out of all that.
As a question of competition. And of
Making
course,
it up.
Trade, to the governor's point, but we have to.
Hey, Jordan, how are you? Burning 47. Hello to all my patriots on this channel.
To make sure that we are having, I think, a reflection and a reflective conversation about how are we positioning ourselves to continue to offer the world the best of what America has to offer.
And to all of you, and Congressman, I'll start with you, would and should the U.S. actually commit U.S. troops to defend Taiwan if China were to move?
You know, I think that this is such a, you know, I think that this is a, this is of course a very long-standing policy of the United States. And I think what we are hoping for is that we want to make sure that we never get to that point, and we want to make sure that we are moving in all of our economic research and our global positions to avoid any such confrontation and for that question to even arise.
Ambassador?
Man, this is what Democrats love. This is the one that want to run the country as president and vice president. Listen to the question. Listen, it's easy. It's easy to play politician. Very easy. I'm going to tell you something. I may fail, but I'll be honest. I will never lie to be in power. I will never lie so that I can get it my way. You understand? I'm going to tell it like it is. People didn't like me when I preached because I spoke the truth. I didn't tickle people in their ears with kind words while doing evil things behind doors. She thinks she's so smart because she learned to play politician. She has learned to play politician. She's never was a politician. She had no brains to be politician. She's smart, but she's not wise. And right here, if you're not wise, if you always lie, you will never be able to be fluent in the truth. And that's the difference, my friend, between me and your leaders. Do you understand? You like quiet and sweet. Well, I like it loud. Wake me up. Wake me up. You want to be a boring Baptist in church and fall asleep? Or you want that loud preacher with the loud music to get people going? Your choice. There will be times where I'm going to talk very slowly and very calm. And there will be times where I'll be very excited and speak with passion. Let's listen to the question one more time, and then let me remind you what she says about President Donald Trump. Let's see the question.
And to all of you, and Congressman, I'll start
Here we
with
go.
you, would and should the U.S. actually commit U.S. troops to defend?
Would or should the U.S. commit troops to Taiwan? She tried to say that she tried to tell the truth, but she's not used to telling the truth. What she's used to doing is lying. That's why her brain went blank, 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 blank. This is what happens when people meddle in other people's business and they have no clue what the hell is going on. She's been playing politician for too long now. She forgot what the truth is. She forgot what the truth is. Very sad.
Defend Taiwan if China were to move?
If China was to move against Taiwan, should we put troops on the ground? What would you do? Here we go. Cat dog, knock it off before you get put in timeout. Let's see. Let's see. Let's change that. Here we go. Let's take a look here. Let's see what we got. We only got a couple of hundred people, but let's see what we get here. Let's take a look. Let's see if we can get this going. Ocasio-Cortez answered. Here we go. Her answer.
You know, I think that this is such a, I think that this is this is, of course, a very long-standing policy of the United States. And I think what we are hoping...
Wait, which long-standing policy does the United States have? Did you hear that?
And a very long-standing policy.
Long-standing policy. Can anybody please tell me on the Democratic side, if there's any in here, or somebody disagrees with me, can you please tell me the long-standing policy that we have from the United States of America? Somebody.
The United States. And I think what we are hoping for is that we want to make sure that we never get to that point. And we want to make sure that we are moving in all of our economic research and our global positions to avoid any such confrontation and for that question to even arise.
Ambassador?
Be nice. Be nice. You can insult her in different ways, but don't call her a thing. She's still a human. Very slow human, but she's still a human. Jakey says AOC is Einstein. Not. Let's see. Burning 47. I don't think Taiwan would have much of a problem. It's an island fortress. That's an interesting point. Unredacted list. The list. No. Cutting edge. We need chips from Taiwan. Remember, guys, we need chips. Let's see. Eric Conrad says we involve ourselves in conflicts that don't need us. You probably don't know either. Well, here's the thing. Let me give you the scenarios of why somebody will tend to stop the answer. I say yes, 100%. But here's the problem. You have to think about it, right? So the first answer, the first logical answer to me would be yes, we would. By being America first, we need to take care of our assets. And Taiwan, I believe, is one of those. Unless they want to just say, yeah, we don't want the United States, then you know what? We'll let them have it. You go ahead and fight for it. We won't get involved. But here's the problem. Here's why you have to answer yes or no, and maybe there is some of the bottle in here that we have to go about. Maybe a little bit debating might be important. I think the answer is yes, 100%. 100%. If we believe they are our allies and we respect their sovereignty. Now, if they're not allies, no. I would say no. But if there is something that we need, if there is something that will be important for us to have from Taiwan, I will say defend them. Otherwise, they're on their own. You can see me for what you will. It doesn't matter. But the answer is not, the problem is not that AOC, is that AOC didn't want to say yes. I know she wanted to say yes, while at the same time, she thought right about it and said, oh, shoot, if I say yes, they're going to blame me for starting World War III. You know what? Eventually it's going to happen anyway. All I can say is, when it comes to the United States of America, I always believe Americans first. Always. America first. And if there is something that we are going to get out of it, like we are in Venezuela, then yes, we'll get involved. But not just for the oil, not just for the rare earth minerals, not just for that, but because of all the drugs that they've been trafficking here nonstop, killing our American citizens. And many others. I will say if a crazy ass libtards out there want to use drugs, why don't you go ahead and do that yourself? But I would recommend conservatives to say no to drugs, say no to alcohol. Remember the wise words of our president Donald J. Trump: say no to drugs, no to alcohol. He even say don't even smoke cigarettes, nothing. And yet, he still has to be the president of the people, which means is that he still has to say something about marijuana, about benefits and non-benefits. He still has to abide by what the majority want. And I refuse to think that the majority want more deaths from fentanyl in the United States of America. Am I right? Yeah. If somebody's going to be mad at Trump, it's going to be because they're not getting their drugs. But other than that, everybody is celebrating. Here's the thing that I agree with some people, and this is what bugs me about the way Trump is doing things, okay? Now, this is only because I have a hard time with waiting for results, okay? So I understand people that don't want to wait for results, and you guys are going crazy. I get you. Me too. But I believe that there is a logic to why it has to be done the way that is being done in Venezuela. I got my pros and cons. Nonetheless, I still support the president that I voted for 100%. Now, with that being said, here is an article. Here you go, Dosito. This is for you. Here is an article that talks about surrogates, Chinese surrogates, to be specific. Give me a second here. Let me close this. There we go. All right. This is a story from the New York Post. Surrogate sues Chinese parents of 26 she claims duped her. Tell me the truth about the baby I carried. There's one beautiful black woman right there, I'll tell you that. A Nevada-based surrogate mother thought she was helping a Chinese couple, longing for a miracle baby. Now, I'm going somewhere with this, pay attention. Now she's one of a number of surrogates fighting for answers after 21 children were removed from the care of John Juan, 65, and Sylvia Sang, 38, in Arcadia, California last year. Tronderica, these people's names. Tronderica James, 30 years old, says in a lawsuit she was aggressively pursued by Jasmine, a representative of the couple, who approached her through a Facebook surrogacy group. Her suit claims she was given misleading and false information about the family and their intentions. What you did is foul, reckless, and cruel, she alleged of Swan and Zhang. I don't even know how to pronounce these names, guys. Sorry about that. In August 2025 email, court records obtained by the Post show. Tell me the truth about what happened to the baby I carried, the baby you name Puppy. James' story mirrors those of others who say they were duped by the pair after being contacted by a representative from Mark Surrogacy or Future Spring Surrogacy over Facebook. They were told they would be carrying a child for a Chinese couple in Los Angeles who had either one or no children. They were also told there was a language barrier, preventing them from speaking directly to them, according to James' lawsuit. None were made aware that both surrogacy agencies were actually controlled by Xuanzang. An unmarried couple were arrested on suspicion of child abuse and neglect last May and are currently out on bond. An Arcadia police spokesperson told the Post they remain the subject of a state child abuse investigation, but no criminal charges have been filed. In the last 6 months, 5 more surrogate-born babies for the couple have been born in Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Georgia, according to the reports seen by the Post. The alarm had been raised by Swan and Sang's 2-month-old son sustained traumatic injuries, which hospital staff suspected were child abuse. Disturbing pictures of the little boy viewed by the Post show him wearing a head and neck brace in the ICU after he was admitted to the hospital, shaking and vomiting, according to court records. The injuries were later attributed to a nanny shaking him, which authorities say they saw on security camera, according to an NBC report. Police say an arrest report for the nanny, Chu-Mei Lee, in connection with alleged abuse has since been issued. Inside the 9-bedroom Arcadia home, also raided in May, police found 15 children under the age of 3. Another 6 of the couple kids were later located nearby homes with friends and family. Shuang and Shang say they are parents to all of the children and that they just want a big family. What a great idea. They are battling to regain custody of them through courts in 4 states. The couple both born in China, are believed to have had one child together naturally, and Shuang is said to be the biological father of a 13-year-old daughter, according to NBC. That's an interesting post there. Now check this out. This is what I've been able to find out through doing a little bit of research. Dosito says, Dennis, I was talking about Chinese citizens requesting surrogates. I know, we'll get there, brother. We'll get there. So Chinese nationals frequently utilize surrogacy services in the United States because surrogacy is illegal in China, and I wonder why. But permitted in many U.S. states. This practice, which can cost over $150,000, offers the primary benefit of granting the child automatic citizenship under the 14th Amendment. How do we know Dennis is an American, they say? Well, you got to take my word for it. That's how you guys know. How do you know that everybody's an American citizen? How do you know? If they just tell you, is that good enough? Now, let me tell you what the problem is with this issue here. $150,000. Now, I'm bringing this up because I found about a year ago, I started making it public on my videos. I know my first videos, they suck. They don't have any views hardly. But I started doing this show 100% towards the end of August, but I started doing some videos before then. I've been saying that our enemies cannot defeat us if we go to battle, if we go to war. So they have found a better way to do it. I call it the Trojan horse. You guys know what a Trojan horse is, right? And I said that our enemies are going to try to infiltrate our country and use our Constitution against us. This is why I have a hard time and a big problem allowing children of illegal immigrants. I know these guys are probably citizens, but the point is, they are using people for the simple reason that they will be American citizens because of the 14th Amendment. Now, the thing that was actually going on the news was that China was using surrogates to breed, to breed American citizens and take back to China, make sure that they have all documents and proof of citizenship, blah, 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 and they were being raised in China or indoctrinated by the Chinese government. American citizens. Can you believe that? And here we are. One couple, 21 children, one couple, $110,000 to $150,000. I get it. One couple, 21 American children who will be sent to China. And how many couples are doing that here in the States? Listen, I am an immigrant. I know the talks. They just haven't been able to do it. But now, because of the Democrats' open border policy, they have allowed for this to happen. I keep saying it over and over, and I don't understand why the Supreme Court doesn't see how our enemies are taking advantage of us. Let me tell you something, and it's not about being prejudiced or phobic of anything, because I'm not afraid of Muslims. But any religion, see, everybody has the freedom of religion. Anybody can practice any religion. That's fine. But any religion that tries or believes that their religious law overthrows the American law should not be allowed in our country. Eric, please tell me that you still don't believe that there is no open border policy. Are you kidding me? They flew them in, bypassing the border. Democrats flew them in and help illegal immigrants infiltrate all throughout the United States of America. I covered this a long time ago, and I told you what the migrant caravans were saying on the way to the United States of America, and they said, okay, Eric, I'm going to have to dumb it down for you. There's nothing in writing, but it's shown by a fact. Tell me, what would you call it? Bringing illegal immigrants into our country. Of course, it's not a real policy, but that's the mentality that they have. That's why we say that they have an open border policy to themselves. It's not official. We don't agree with it. We don't believe in it, but that's how they see it. That's how they see it. I know the way that I talk in some things. You can question, that's fine, but just come on, stay with me here. So there's these thousands and hundreds of thousands of people coming in caravans. They were promised money, they were promised medical assistance, and they were promised a safe passage through Mexico. Claudia Sheinbaum told the illegals that were rioting in Los Angeles during the ICE raids, you must mobilize, stand up and fight for your rights. And she says, your human rights. What? We don't go on human rights when it comes to immigration. Those are legal rights. Human rights does not trump the law. So what happens? People don't listen. Oh, this guy is lying. Lies, lies, lies. And what happened? President Trump, boom, gets elected. Shuts down the border. Secures it. And then we see the Mexican president, Claudia Sheinbaum. No. We need to shut down the migrant shelters. Jesus, you better get up on it. You better get caught up. You better get caught up. Your beautiful president, Claudia Sheinbaum, it has stepped in doo-doo big time. And so the illegal migrants are complaining to Mexico because they were told they will get money, free health care, and a free passage. That's right. You didn't see any federales stopping people from getting on the train to the north. You didn't see federales checking papers on illegal immigrants in Mexico. You know why? Because they thought that all of them were going to get through. Well, guess what, Jack? President Trump is back in office and the border has been secured. Now you hear these illegal immigrants crying, mad that they were promised these things. And what does the Mexican government, what does the Mexican president do to Hondurans that were illegal? To Venezuelans that were illegal? To Guatemalans, Nicaraguans, to all Hispanics from Mexico down below? What was Claudia Sheinbaum doing? Deporting every single one of them out. Out. And you see the Mexican citizens get these damn Hondurans out of Mexico. Well, wait a minute. Number one, that's my country. I'm just saying. That's my people. But they're right because they're not there legally. Of course they don't want them. Of course they don't want them there. Now I will say this. There's other reasons why the government gets involved in all this. But I just find it very interesting. Very, very interesting that the president, Claudia Sheinbaum of Mexico, had no problem at all with illegal immigrants coming to the United States of America. And as soon as the border got shut down, she started to see jobs disappearing. Woo! Let's go. She started showing that jobs were disappearing for Mexican citizens. The healthcare system was overwhelmed, and Mexican citizens were not able to get their health care. Some of them have to wait 3 months for an appointment, if they even got to be seen. The schools were overwhelmed with students of illegal migrants. They felt what we have been talking about in the United States of America. You see, libtards, they don't think about the future for some reason. And see, I can't help but to think about the future. If we allow a small, grab a balloon, fill it up with water, and just poke a little hole in there with the needle. The water starts coming out. If you don't fix that, it's going to get bigger, and you will be drained completely. You got to close the border. You got to take care of your citizens. Somebody corrected me because I thought census was done every 5 years, every year or 5 years. Somebody corrected me. They said it was every 10 years. I looked it up. It's true, every 10 years. There is a census being made. There is a census being made, and they calculate what is the population of each state. They calculate how many people travel back and forth, how many people move from here, how many people move from there. And they have this census going on how many people are in a state and what is the reproduction rate for city, state, blah, blah, blah. And so they have calculated the budget for this 10 years that they're not going to be checking census on anybody, right? So they calculate for 10 years, and what happens? We have about 10 million people here in Washington State, about 10 million. And mind you, there's always been illegal immigrants, but it's been very few compared to millions at the same time, millions. So what I'm saying is this, and a lot of people on the left, they say, oh, you're wrong, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. There is a budget. I know a budget. I know how the budget works. And so they say Washingtonians are reproducing at a rate of 1.7. I don't know how that works, but that's just the way it comes out. 1.5, 1.7. Let me take a look. Let's see if the stats have changed. Let's take a look. Let's see. Let's take a look. Let's see. Let's see if I can get the number. Let's see. Washington State's population reached over 8 million in 2024. Okay. Well, now the population is about 10 million plus. More sustainable pace. Okay, here we go. So here we go. Watch this. Continuing to grow due to strong net migration. Migration is great. Illegal invasion, mass migration is not good. The growth is primarily driven by people moving into the state. About 78 to 82%. Whoa. 78 to 82% of growth rather than natural increase. The state does not have formal population control policies but manages growth through land use planning. 78 to 82% growth, population growth. Do you understand what that is? Can somebody please tell me, what does that mean? What does that mean? Let's take a look at some of the details about this. And you should be paying attention. Population search. The trends between 2024 and 2025. Let's take a look. Washington remains among the fastest growing U.S. states with a 1.3% annual increase. Roughly about 101,000 residents from 2023 to 2024. Okay, I'm okay with that, right? 101,000. Okay, that's a lot of people at once, but it's okay. We're good. We're good. That's a big state. Growth drivers, net migration, people moving in minus people moving out. Accounted for the vast majority of growth, while natural increase, birth minus deaths, has cut in half since 2018. Slowing growth rate, despite reaching 8 million. The growth rate is slowing compared to 2010-2020. Regional growth, the central Puget Sound region, King, Kitsap, Pierce, and Snohomish counties grew to 4.48 million, continuing to be a major hub for new residents. Some of you probably don't even know what the hell that is. The state is projected to grow to over 9.8 million by 2050. Right. Let me see this. They changed the numbers. That's not what I remember. Yeah, they changed the numbers. That is not the population that we had here last year. That's right. It was closer to 10 million people in Washington State. Now it's down to 8.1 million people. Really, really. Very interesting. Now, this is my state, and I looked at these numbers before. Why is it 2 million less than what it was before? I find that very interesting. All right, so we have 8 million people here in Washington State. Now, we haven't had a census. This is very interesting to me. We haven't had a census in 10 years. So tell me, how do we know that we only have 8,115,000 people in Washington State? If there has been no census done in 10 years, tell me, make it make sense, will you? I don't get it. I'm confused. It might be just me, but I am confused. Somebody help me out. Seattle, Washington, Washington State, the whole Washington State. A lot of migrants of Hispanic descent have moved in to Kitsap, Snohomish County, King County, and the population has grown hugely. Now, how do we know that this population is? Eric, I like that, the IRS. Okay, so how do we know? If illegal immigrants work under the table, how do they do taxes? They don't pay taxes. People swear they're paying taxes. How do they know? They can't pay taxes without being legal. They can't work. Aztec, shut the hell up. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying is true. Don't be lying over here. Don't be lying. You know what I'm saying is true. No, beautiful, clean coal. You got to say it right. Beautiful, clean coal. So here, I'm gonna give you something. Illegal immigrants cannot be employees. That is illegal. But they can actually get access to a license to start their own business. Bear with me. And here is where immigration control comes in. ICE. ICE, ICE, baby. An illegal immigrant builds a taqueria. They sell birria tacos. They are illegal, but yet are allowed to have their own business in this country, in this state. And so they get an ETIN number, which is the same 9 digits as a social security number. Now, I find that interesting because I thought you needed a social security number to get an ETIN number. But whatever the case, if IRS gives illegal immigrants access to an ETIN number, they can start a business. Now, here's the problem. You say, hey, illegal immigrants, they just come here to work. They just come here to work. Hey, a smooth bandito, you better come down, bro. I don't like what you put there. I don't like what you put there. Don't be a dumbass, bro. Don't be a dumbass, will you? Don't be a dumbass. Knock it off. This is our country, and we're going to defend it as best as we can. We don't need illegal immigrants to come over here and tell us what to do. F you and your homies. We don't stand for that. We don't go to Mexico and tell them what to do we? We don't go to Mexico and raise the American flag. We don't go to Honduras and raise the American flag. Some people told me on my live, hey, Dennis, how come you're not raising the American flag? I said, I'm in Honduras. Why would I raise the American flag in Honduras? Unless I am representing some sort of group or staff from the United States of America, then I can wear my American flag. But you got to respect the people. You got to respect the people. I don't lie on one thing. Tell me one thing that I lied about. WW2. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Cutting edge. By my calculation now, the Somalis in Minnesota take 12,000 to 18,000 more than they contribute, even if they are legally into the country. That's crazy. Well, assimilate, right? Assimilate. Okay, EIN. Yeah. Okay, let me look this up real quick. Okay, hold on. Let's see. There's a difference. Hold on, I might be confusing it. Let me see. There's two of them. Hold on. There's two of them. I might be. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. So here's what it says: an employer identification number, so EIN. That you're right. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right, is a 9-digit number issued by the IRS to identify a business entity for tax purposes. Okay, that's 9 digits. And ETIN is an electronic transmitter identification number. It is a 5-digit number assigned to IRS e-file participants. My bad. EIN is the right number. Okay, that's right. 100% EIN. Thank you for correcting me on that. Okay, so here's the catch. 2 things. One of them, they cannot be employees themselves. They cannot be employees themselves. So what happens is this. They can set up a business with legal workers because they cannot hire illegal workers. Even if they're very hardworking, they cannot. If you don't believe me, you can go look this up. So they don't pay taxes. The business pays taxes. And if they are working as an employee while being illegal, that is caused to be deported immediately. And maybe being banned from the country from ever coming in. You know what illegals say when they get arrested by ICE? I'll be back in a week. I kid you not. Ask Aztec. He knows. And that right, Aztec? That's what they say. Oh, I'll be back in 3 days. I'll be back in a week, is what they say when they get arrested and they get deported. If you can bank somewhere else, why not? Bank somewhere else that doesn't benefit our country. That's fine. Pixel says, this dude looks more catracho than American citizen. I will always be 100% catracho, my friend. 100%. Yeah, so there is that. Okay? So if you have no problem with that, you shouldn't be protesting ICE agents that go into a business of an illegal immigrant because they shouldn't be working in this country. They shouldn't be in this country illegally. And I get it. If you're illegal, if you have friends and family or people you know that are illegal, you tend to have feelings that you want to fight for them. You want to defend them. You want to be a Samaritan. You want to be a good person. But in the end, what you're doing is you're betraying your own people. As much as people tell me that I am betraying my people in my channel constantly, I'm not. I represent my people with pride. I respect the law. Hey, Bill, how are you? Hey, good to see you in here, my friend. I respect the law, and why should I be hated for that? Why should I be hated for respecting the law? Why should I be hated for putting Americans first? Why should I be hated? Why should I be called a traitor when I am respecting the American law? When I am respecting the will of the people? When I want nothing but the best for Americans? Why am I a traitor? Why should I be ashamed? Why should ICE agents be ashamed? I'm not betraying Latinos. I love my Latinos. Latinos for Trump. All the legal Latinos. It's not about loyalty. It's about doing what's right. See, I'm not one of these gangster or wannabe guys that says I don't snitch on nobody. No, no, no. If they're breaking the law, they're doing that themselves. I'm not betraying them. You don't want a problem, don't start a problem. If what I say is a lie, prove it to me. Prove to me how is it a lie. Anything that I have said, go ahead, type it on the chat, and let's address it. My uncle, the godfather of 7th Mile, was just deported 2 weeks ago. Damn! Docito. Sorry about that, brother. It is what it is. Shirley, that's right. Latinos for Trump. 100%. You know what? There is this guy. Let me see. I like this guy. Hold on. Let me see if I can find him. Let me see. I hope that I posted one of his videos. Oh, man. I don't think I have that. Let me see. Okay, hold on. Let me see. I don't go on my Facebook too much, but how do you go to people you are following? I used to know how to use this. Let me see. How do you go to people I'm following? I think I have some videos that I might want to show you. I want to show you one. Now the guy is very explicit, very very explicit. What is his name? Oh my gosh, I forget. Let me see. I might have to search him. I might have to search him. You guys know who it is, but I forgot his name. Let's see if I see his face, I'll pull him up. This guy looks as Mexican as they come. I'll tell you that right now. And I love it. He's very straightforward. He cusses a little bit too much for my channel, but I will find him. Come on. Does anybody know of any Mexicans that are Latino for Trump? Let's see if, let me see, Dennis, if you're running for governor, you better become more familiar with technology. Don't worry, I'll have somebody look it up for me. That's the thing. I wasn't planning on showing you this, but I just don't use, I don't use Facebook, man. I gave up on Facebook a long time ago when they were doing all this, blocking your speech and allowing just Democrats to say their part, but they didn't allow us to say our part. Yeah, let me see. How about maybe on the Reels, it'll come up. Oh, what is this? Oh, that's sad. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Hernandez Valentin Santos decided to put the pedal to the metal when an ICE vehicle was behind him in traffic, prompting the officers to pursue. And yes, they arrested Mr. Hernandez Valentin Santos. Let's see if I go through here. New video tells a different story of what really happened on January 6th. Please, I showed all these videos. Here, let's see what this is. Where is the audio on these things? Okay, up here.
Scene. And that video tells a very different story about what happened on January 6th.
Let's take a look.
More than 40,000 hours of surveillance footage from in and around the Capitol have been withheld from the public. And once you see the video, you'll understand why. Taken as a whole, the video record does not support the claim that January 6th was an insurrection. In fact, it demolishes that claim. And that's exactly why the Democratic Party and its allies in the media prevented you from seeing it.
Yep.
By controlling the images you were allowed to view from January 6th, they controlled how the public understood that day.
Damn.
They could lie about what happened, and you would never know the difference. Those lies had a purpose. They created a pretext for a federal crackdown on opponents of the Uniparty in Washington.
Our office wanted to ensure that there was shock and awe, that we could charge as many people as possible.
The first thing you notice from viewing the full video record of January 6th is just how many people entered the Capitol building that day. Hundreds and hundreds of people, possibly thousands, over the course of about 2 hours. The crowd was enormous. A small percentage of them were hooligans. They committed vandalism. You've seen their pictures again and again. But the overwhelming majority weren't. They were peaceful, they were orderly and meek. These were not
Yes, people die like an innocent white female shot to the head by a dumbass cop.
insurrectionists, they were sightseers. Footage from inside the Capitol overturns the story you've heard about January 6th. Protesters queue up in neat little lines. They give each other tours outside the Speaker's office.
Cutting Edge, thanks for the super, brother. ICE was created for the purpose of counterterrorism after 9/11 and the primary investigation of high-caliber pedophiles. That's why there is still a waiting list to join the agency. They want to catch them all. I agree with that. Oh, wait a minute. Look at that. We got a Redskin in there. You see that Redskin in there? Hey, let me make this a little bit bigger to fit that window. Let's see here. Yeah, let's do that right there. Move this up a little bit. There we go. Look at that. We got a little Redskin right here. One of our natives is in here. And this guy is laughing. They're having a conversation. These guys are wearing masks and everything. They're just chilling. I wonder if he's going to play a drum. Boom, 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 boom. Fantastic. Mark, don't raise false testimony. You will be punished. You will be punished with the same way that you are judging me when you don't know any better.
Office. They take cheerful selfies and
Look
they
at this.
smile. They're not destroying
Rioters.
the Capitol. They obviously revere the Capitol.
Yeah.
They're there because they believe the election was stolen from them.
Look at this riot, guys. Look at this riot.
They believe in the system. Here's the man you've heard referred to as the QAnon shaman outside the Senate chamber. These are not rioters. These are people who wandered over from a political rally.
We will not let them silence your voices.
After the rally, they walked down Pennsylvania Avenue, where organizers had secured a federal permit to hold a legal rally on the grounds of the Capitol.
That's right,
I know
Jakey.
that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
Once at the Capitol building, things began to get chaotic. Capitol police officers fired tear gas into the crowd. A few at the front of the herd broke windows. Someone opened the doors, and many hundreds of others just walked in.
They're going to make that the story.
Of course, they did make it the story. And at the center of it, the single most famous
Look
person
at that.
arrested that
Posing for a picture, just like the Mexican guy with the Mexican flag on top of the car that was burnt down.
day was a Navy veteran from Arizona called Jacob Chansley, often referred to as the QAnon shaman.
The so-called QAnon shaman. QAnon shaman.
Someone named Q Shaman.
Jacob Chansley became the face of January 6th, a dangerous conspiracy theorist dressed in outlandish costume who led the violent insurrection to overthrow American democracy.
That's right, Patriots. That's right. And I will play the fool if they're telling me that the hundreds, if not thousands of hours of footage was hidden from us. All these people on the left side, release the Epstein files. Nobody wants to release all the videos from January 6th. How about you start claiming that one, huh? You say release the Epstein files. I say release the January 6th files and videos.
For these crimes, Chansley was sentenced to nearly 4 years in prison, far more time than many violent criminals now receive. What did Jacob Chansley do to receive this punishment? To this day, there is dispute over how Chansley got into the Capitol building. But according to our review of the internal surveillance video, it is very clear what happened once he got inside. Virtually every moment of his time inside the Capitol was caught on tape. The tapes show that Capitol Police never stopped Jacob Chansley. They helped him. They acted as his tour guides. Here's video of Chansley in the Senate chamber. Capitol Police officers take him to multiple entrances and even try to open locked doors for him. We counted at least 9 officers who were within touching distance of unarmed Jacob Chansley. Not one of them even tried to slow him down. Chansley understood that Capitol Police were his allies. Video shows him giving thanks for them in a prayer on the floor of the Senate. Watch.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for giving the inspiration needed to these police officers to allow us in this building.
Contrast the reality of what Jacob Chansley did in the Capitol building on January 6th, the indisputable facts recorded on video, some of which has never before been seen, with the depiction of Jacob Chansley that you've seen in the media for more than 2 years.
Eric, the problem is that there was people that didn't behave properly, and they should be punished. But unfortunately, they just took it out on everybody.
He's a terrorist, they said. He should be killed.
Shoot him. Shoot him. Like, you burst into the United States.
You see that? Now, I'm going to tell you, I just watched a movie last night. I'll talk about it. Let's just finish watching.
If he was dressed like bin Laden, would he have shot him?
Shoot him! Shoot him! It makes you wonder, who are the violent extremists here? Not Jacob Chansley.
Why shoot him?
The video proves that. But you would never have known from the media coverage.
The people sitting in the chairs need to be sitting in a jail cell.
Chansley is in a jail cell. He's been there for months. If he was in fact committing such a grave crime, why didn't the officers who were standing right next to him place him under arrest? Until now, no one could even prove that even happened. But it did.
Yeah, got a new show for y'all. Got a damn good show, and welcome to the show.
Oh, man, I love it. Let me see if I can find the video of this Mexican guy.
Raise your hand.
Let me see.
I'm eternally grateful that
the Polk County Sheriff, man, that guy, Sheriff Grady, he's a badass. He's a badass. Huh? What is this?
From Sammy's Mexican Grill.
Oh, snap. Check this out. Sammy's Mexican Grill, baby. Latinos for Trump. Let's take a listen. Sammy, what you got for us?
Happy President's Day from Sammy's Mexican Grill. Happy President's Day from
Sammy's Mexican Grill, which, by the way, he gives ICE agents free food. If you are, let me see, where's he at? We want to wish Donald J. Trump a very wonderful President's Day. We have nothing but love and appreciation for all the great work you're doing. Keep up. Keep doing to keep our country safe and protected. God bless President Donald J. Trump. A Mexican. A Mexican American. You see that, folks? You see that, American kids and boys and girls? Enough with the Proud Boys crap. That's all I hear. Proud Boys. Who gives a shit? We'll put them in jail if they're guilty. I don't care. But the fact is, Democrats planted that coup. It was a setup by the Democrats. And that is the truth. When I saw the hearing and I saw how they hid so many videos, it made me sick to my stomach. Dosito, hold on, brother. Where you at? Luis Akrami. How do you say that? Akrawi. Let's see. The godfather of Chaldean Mafia deported to the Middle East. Interesting. Let's take a look. This is from Detroit News. Luis Akrawi, a convicted murderer. Oh, dude, that's your uncle? Let me see. Bro, what? Dude, that's crazy, bro. I don't know if I want to be associated with you now, man. It might be bad for my campaign. It's gonna be bad for my campaign, man. I don't want to be associated with this guy. No more. Oh man, I don't know, man. That's I don't know, Docino. That's um you crack me up, bro. Former Detroit Assyrian Godfather Lou Akrawi deported. All right, we're not going to look at Reddit. We're going to do at the Gangster Report. Let's take a look. Let's see. The Gangster Report uncovering the underworld with Scott Bernstein. Ah, man, I'm going to have to cut ties with Docino. You're about to get blocked. You got to be banned from my channel. I'm just kidding. He brings shame to your family, huh? After a half a century of trying, Uncle Sam finally gets his wish. Former Detroit Iraqi godfather Lou Akrawi sets to be deported to Baghdad this week. On February 3rd, 2026, the fact that he remains almost 6 decades later an enemy of the state in Iraq and sending him back to his home country could very well be a virtual death sentence. Apparently means not U.S. government. On for former Detroit Middle Eastern mob boss. Who wants to defend a mob boss? And geopolitical revolutionary Lou, and he's run as a firebrand immigrant community leader in the United States, specifically Southeast Michigan, following more than 50 years of fighting to stay in the U.S. and alive from dodging attempts by Saddam Hussein's Ba'ath Party to kill him in the 1970s and the 1980s for being a political dissident. Oh my gosh. How do you say that word? Political dissident. Dissident. That has to be the word. I don't know what it means. Political dissident to multiple futile U.S. government-led efforts to put him in prison for the rest of his life. Now, you have to excuse me because I like to understand the words that I'm reading, and I need to find out what the hell this word means. A dissident is an individual who actively opposes or challenges established political, religious, or social systems, policies, and doctrines, particularly in authoritarian states, motivated by a desire for change, justice, or human rights. They often operate through activism, protest, writing, or organizing to foster social and political reform. All right. Dissident Eric. Ah, man. All right, that was funny. All right, Akrawi, 78, and stricken with Parkinson's disease. Ah, man, the guy is about to die anyway. Is scheduled to be put on a commercial flight to Baghdad Wednesday and drop back into his homeland, most likely with a murder contract still on his head from his days as young man in the late 1960s, opposing Saddam Hussein. And then, wait, why would that still hold legit in Iraq? Saddam Hussein is not the president there no more. And there has been plenty of regime changes on there. The guy that is sitting in there right now is about to get out, or is out, probably in hiding. I don't know, man. He's a mob boss, and I find it very interesting. How do you get mob boss and dissident? What is the word again? Activist. How do you get that? How do you get this just because he opposed the government, he's going to get killed when he gets there? The guy, Saddam Hussein, is no longer there. You know what? Forget it. Your uncle's story is crazy. That is crazy. That is your uncle, though, man. Docino, man, don't get me in trouble on this campaign, bro. Don't get me in trouble.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Brian Haywood, and yes, this income tax would hit me personally. But like many in my position, I've got options. I can change my domicile, I can move my business, I can restructure my income to avoid it. That's the truth. And even this person that just testified has every option to do that. In fact, just the past 2 weeks, I've heard from directly or listened or heard about over 50 couples who have already in the process of or soon to be changing their domicile out of this state, including one that you all have heard of, probably the loudest Democrat in Seattle named Nick Hanauer, who's changing his domicile. The people who truly get crushed, though, are Washington's 657,000 small business owners, farmers, contractors, doctors, tech founders who run pass-through companies. A great year, a big sale, or even a one-time payout pushes their personal income over $1 million, triggering a 10% hit they can't easily avoid. But if everyone in this room were forced to testify under a truth machine somehow, and we could all just sort of hear what was the honest thing, what we know is this is not about taxing the rich at all.
Thank you, Mr. Haywood. Your time is up.
Thank you, Chair Robinson. I'm Rob McKenna, former AG of Washington. Under our state constitution, we can have a state income tax if it follows the rules for property taxes. It must be uniform and no higher than 1% per year. Okay. This is because Washington's voters amended our constitution long ago to define property in what the Supreme Court called the broadest terms imaginable. Quote, everything, whether tangible or intangible, subject to ownership. Voters adopted this sweeping definition to subject intangibles like stocks, bonds, and money to property taxes. 4 times since then, Washington's legislature has sent constitutional amendments to the voters to exclude income from this expansive definition. Those legislatures did that because they and the state Supreme Court understood the Constitution's plain meaning. If this legislature wants a progressive income tax, it should send an amendment to the voters for their decision. It shouldn't pretend that the Constitution is not clear unless every legislator who votes for this bill is prepared to explain why taxpayers don't have a property right.
Thank you, Mr. McKenna.
Thank you, committee members. It's impossible to overstate how destructive an income tax will be for Washington State. I've started 4 successful businesses in our state, including Smartsheet. These companies only succeeded because the thousands of people in them were incredibly hardworking and owners in the business. Their motivation and their choice to work hard and take risks was always for the promise that if we built something truly useful and innovative, that someday there'd be a large financial reward. Washington.
Let me pause this guy real quick. I know we jump into these unconstitutional state income tax that they're trying to put on the people of Washington. Now, I know a lot of people probably won't understand what the hell that means, but bro, your uncle's picture is now a fresh picture. Now they will really know who he is when they send him back. They might have to give him some surgery to make him unrecognizable. And to Eric, it says, you can blame Pelosi if you want, but Trump did nothing to stop it. Let me see here. So when a protester goes off and starts assaulting ICE agents, breaking windows, throwing rocks, throwing bricks, the other protesters didn't do anything to stop it. The police didn't do anything to protect them or to stop them. Should we blame those bystanders for doing nothing when the guilty are those of their own actions? You can call them cowards. You can call him coward if you dare. That's fine. Call them cowards all you want. But the fact remains, he said, go down there peacefully. We heard the whole speech. Peacefully. Respect authority. That's all he can do. What did you want him to do? He tried to send 10,000 National Guards to the House. Pelosi said no. Democrats said no. 3 times they were denied. President Donald Trump did try. And the reason why it didn't get done is because Democrats did not allow it to happen, my friend. So there you go. There is your fact and there is your truth. Thanks for playing. Parting gifts for you and your friends.
The state is taking away that incentive from people that power this economy, and these people will go elsewhere to keep what they've earned. I'll never forget the pained look on one of our employees' faces when she discovered that the reward she was about to get after 19 years of grinding work was going to be cut 43.8% with federal and state taxes. With this bill, along with the ones that were passed in the last couple of years, that will confiscate over half.
There's nothing that he can do. They'll just find another way to blame him for whatever happened if he did anything else. It's what you people do. You can't have it both ways, man. You got to pick a side. Stop playing. You got to pick a side.
There's no reason to start a business in Washington State anymore.
Yep.
Our hard work's just going to wasted spending. My company is actively shifting our operations away from Washington State, and I'll leave as soon as possible as well.
So I've been saying this, and people keep telling me that I'm lying. Well, now this is just happens to be about Washington State. Now, people say that I'm lying about these taxes and blah, blah, blah. Washington State is beautiful. It's perfect. The majority of people in Washington State are Democrats. And you want me to believe that lie? There is no freaking way that the majority of Washingtonians are okay with being taxed off the yin-yang. Guys, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. In some states, the gasoline dropped to $1.98. $1.98. Every time the gas prices go down, taxes imposed by Democrats on businesses, on sales, just keeps going up and regulations. This socialist heroes, they call themselves, all these veterans that are supporting crazy ass lunatic Democrat policies. They like to go against Trump. Why is it that you don't see it? Every time President Trump does something, prices go down, and you see it. Even here, prices have gone down. And then, boom, prices go right back up. Why? Because of taxes. You are listening to people who have small businesses, 20 to 25 employees in some cases. They reach over $1 million in sales. That is not gross. They will have this tax added onto them, which right now everybody believes that the Constitution of Washington State does not allow for state income tax like they do in California. And so the problem with it is like, oh man, I'm trying to get it in here. And what I'm looking at is that these people don't care. They don't care. I spoke to a supervisor of mine, and I was saying, hey, oh my gosh, man, they just raised the taxes again. But they just got done raising it like 3 months ago. Now they're raising taxes again. You know what the supervisor said to me? Oh, well, it's needed. It's needed. I look at him and be like, hey, wait a minute. We can't afford to buy a house. It's needed. Affordability, my friend. Affordability. This is before Trump came into the second term. Affordability. Taxes, taxes, taxes. Democrats are the demons that we got rid of 250 years ago. These demons are back. Democrats love to increase taxes. Why somebody's still a Democrat today is beyond me. Listen, if you don't like my yelling, because I have headphones, remember that. I got headphones so I talk louder. This microphone does not condense my voice, and if I don't yell, it will be too low for you. It's not I'm not a professional equipment guy here. And I don't talk like most people. I get passionate. I get loud. I'm a loud guy. I don't need a microphone in public.
What a shame.
Thank you, Mr. Frey. Will you please identify yourself for the record?
I'm Brent Fry. I'm the founder and chairman of TerraClear.
Thank you, Senator Frame. Chair Robinson, Patrick Connor with NFIB to discuss our concerns with Senate Bill 6346. NFIB is still trying to analyze this complex bill, particularly as it applies to sole proprietorships and other pass-through entities.
It's excitement, Eric. Let me have my freedom, will ya?
We're concerned that sole proprietors aren't even mentioned in the bill, not once, leading us to worry that these individuals will be taxed on business earnings, not...
You ever hear the people, I am calm. That's me. That's me. I'm calm, but I'm very loud. I really am. It's very, like when I tell people that I have ADHD, they don't believe me because they think it should be a different way. They don't understand, okay? I control it most of the time. Yeah, man. People will never understand, man. Don't judge me for my passion.
not on wages or salaries. The inclusion of undistributed income or retained earnings as taxable dollars, along with a prohibition on loss and B&O credit carryovers, could sorely restrict a small business's cash flow, threatening its ability to pay wages or other operating expenses, especially while awaiting customer payments. This bill mentions small business tax relief. While some is delivered through an increase in the B&O tax credit and threshold, we were surprised, to say the least, that the biggest small business tax relief is for businesses earning $250 million a year or more. We would appreciate the opportunity to continue working with sponsors to address these very serious concerns.
It's not pissed. Believe me, if I'm pissed at you, you will know.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, for the record, Brent Ludeman here today on behalf of the Building Industry Association of Washington, testifying because of the negative impact that this legislation will have on reaching our state's housing supply needs. Specifically, I want to call out a couple of provisions of the bill. First, that it does not allow for the carry forward of losses. Developers might lose money over multiple years before
You're okay, Eric.
Making a profit. Restricting carry forward losses does not provide an accurate picture of the economic reality of a housing development. Two, it does not allow for averaging over the period where income is generated. Developer might generate $1.5 million in.
Now, the only reason why I'm letting this video play is because I want you to, is that better, Eric? The reason why I want to let this video play is because I want you to understand what I've been saying about affordability, about taxes. Everybody on the left keeps blaming President Donald Trump for expensive prices, for high prices. Everybody's blaming President Donald Trump because businesses are shutting down. Small businesses are shutting down. Everybody blames President Donald Trump. President Donald Trump was in office not even 1 month. Not even 1 month. And Bob Ferguson and the union workers at the docks were already blaming President Donald Trump for affordability. While they were getting rich, making their money, the people suffer. The employees suffer. They blame President Donald Trump. When people can afford to put gas in their car, to be able to go to work 5 to 7 days a week, the local government has to do something about it. So how do we do it? It says, Trump, okay, let me read this. Trump has to take responsibility at some point. So when will he fix it? As I've been saying it, everything President Donald Trump has been doing, we see prices going down. And then the price goes right back up, especially on blue states and cities. That is the trend, my friend, that I see. That is the trend that I see. Other Republican states suffer because they have blue cities. See, we voted President Donald Trump. I was a big supporter. As soon as he said, tariffs, we want reciprocal tariffs, meaning that if you are having high tariffs on me, or taxes, as some people like to call it, you having high taxes on me bringing stuff to your country, I should be able to put the same measurement onto you. And I said, 100%, here we go. This is going to bring somebody to the table. Let me remind you, before I continue, you know what? I'll give you the last number that I know of. Let me remind you that from the first term that President Donald Trump was in office, because of tariffs, we raked in $77 billion, $70 to $77 billion in tariffs. And President Biden's administration did not remove those tariffs. We were losing hundreds of billions of dollars before. Now we actually saw a little tip coming back into our country. the tariffs on this second term because President Donald Trump came in and raised them and made deals and agreements and demanded that we have fair trading. Don't forget that the British, they thought we were nobody. They thought that we would die out as a small nobody country. And they blocked our trading routes and the ocean. You remember that? Or do you know that? But you know what? We continue to move forward. We continue to grow, and we continue to fight, and we continue to do the things that we know are best. And now we are superpower. Now we're one of the greatest countries in the world. The same thing I can give you today. China has been taking advantage of us. A lot of countries have been taking advantage of us. You know, Singapore? Singapore is not a big country like the United States of America, right? That's an Asian country, right? Singapore was taking advantage of us. Why? Many countries were taking advantage of us for one reason. One reason only. We became a big superpower. But guess what? We can't stay superpower losing hundreds of billions of dollars. So guess what, Singapore? Tariffs, baby. You lower those tariffs or we're going to raise those tariffs. You need to come to the table and we need to have fair trading. It's all about fair trading. So now we finished. Now I don't want to mess up the number. Was it 177 or $277 billion just this last year alone? Let's see, tariffs, revenue, 2025. Woo! Let's go. 287 to $290 billion. No longer losing hundreds of billions of dollars, but now we are making hundreds of billions of dollars. Let me see. How much is $290 billion times 10? How much? Somebody. Trying to make you some easy math for you guys. Cutting Edge, thanks for the 5, bro. They blame Trump when these governors and mayors signed EO to hide all the taxes to have a point in front of Trump. Liars, pure liars and thieves. I agree with that. So what is it? Let's see. Well, number one, that money is going to the military. That money is going to our security. We need to build more ships. We need to make more weapons. It's all about power. Peace through strength, my friends. You know where it's not going? To Somalia. That's where it's not going. You know where it's not going? To Mexico. That's where it's not going. Did you know that the United States of America gives money to about 195 countries in the world? That's right. Us. The United States of America. We give money to over 100, I think it's 170 or 190. I can't remember. 10, 20 countries. What's the big difference? What's the big deal? The American people need to stop wasting money. It's what they got to do. 40 billion to Argentina. We got that back already, if you didn't know. With interest, by the way. Intel to Israel. We got that back way more than what we're giving them in the last 30, 40 years. So, hey, guys, come on. Do better than that, will you? I love Israel, so I'm okay. We got to give them more. We got to give them more. God bless Israel. God bless Israel. What's the other one? So we got hundreds of billions of dollars, over almost $300 billion coming in every year. Does anybody know times 10 years what that is? Anybody? Give me a number. Come on, peeps. Come on. All you got to do is add 10 to the $290 billion and you get what? Come on. Plus what we are actually doing in our local economy. Oh man, it's going to be hard. It's hard to convince the libtards. I get it, guys. I get it. And don't get mad at me. If you're not a libtard, don't get offended. If you're not a libtard, don't get offended. If you are a libtard, it is what it is. All right? All right. By supporting our allies, we are putting America first. Now, that's just $2.9 trillion in 10 years. We're not adding trillions of dollars of debt. We are going to be taking off some of that. Well, not yet. But we're going to be taking some of that money up once we get situated. And we have about between 18 to 20 to 21 trillion dollars within the next 10 years coming in. You have to understand something, guys. Listen, I believe in this, and something is better than nothing. You want to go ahead and just lose hundreds of billions of dollars. But listen to me. You want to lose hundreds of billions of dollars, or, listen, I'm not a millionaire. I get it. I'm not a millionaire. But you have to look at the logic. Look at the logic. What do you have to do to make money? Somebody. What do you got to do to make money? Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. All right, the poll ends with 400 votes. 53% say we should not put troops on the ground for Taiwan. I agree with that as well. Now, I say yes, put troops on the ground if it's a benefit to us, but if it's not, nope, I don't agree with it. So thank you, whoever, for all the people that participated on the poll. Aztec. No mames, for you. Take. Look at Aztec is thinking like a true socialist. Spend, he says. Cutting edge, 100%. Invest. Burning 47, 100%. Work. You got to lose money to make money. So with that logic, I want you to look at it this way. We have agreements. Now people say, I didn't see no signing. I don't know, but you got to go watch these videos again. They signed over there in Qatar. They signed in all these countries. They signed over here in the United States of America in the Oval Office. People were signing left and right, making all these improvements and making all these investments here in the United States, which equal over $21 trillion. Now, I might be adding a couple trillion there, but hey, why not? But that's just the investing. That's going to take 10 years, 5 to 10 years in order for us to see that money coming in. Now, guys, we're having money coming in so that we can take care of our military. They're very important. We need to stay strong defensively. We got to have new technology. We got to invest hundreds and billions of dollars. That needs to happen. See, a lot of socialists, they just like to go out there and let's just spend the money, like Aztec says. Spend the money, they said. Spend the money. Let's go. Spend. And then they wonder why we are negative budget here in Washington State. What is the negative? What is the budget? What is the negative? Let me see. What is the debt? Let's see. Of Washington State. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Just so you know, Washington State had a very healthy budget. Very healthy budget of $16 billion. For some of you, it might be nothing. But $16 billion, beautiful budget. $16 billion. Brian, what is that? What are you saying, Brian? Not true. Matter of fact, some of the tariff money will go to paying the debt down. Okay, so what I'm saying is this. Watch this. So we have two things happening at the same time, okay? We have money coming in, right, because of the tariffs, fair trading, Okay? That's one money coming in, $90 billion, approximately $290 billion coming in just off tariffs. We're not talking about business that we're doing. And then we have investments that are coming in. That money is the money that is going to be going in to reducing our debt. That's what I believe. I could be wrong. I'm not Donald Trump, but I could be wrong. It's okay, Brian. It happens to me all the time, and I get people always correcting my typos. It's okay. Well, and plus, I sometimes write the way that I speak, meaning with an accent. So I don't know if you guys do this, but sometimes I say there, and I spell them the same way, and they're not. One is spelled T-H-E-R-E, and the other one is spelled T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E, okay? There and there. And I don't know why I do that. My brain just goes there. And I notice a lot of Americans do that as well, but whatever. So there you go. So you have two things happening. We are no longer losing money, which is key. That means that the debt is not getting worse because of trading. Now, if we're spending and spending, of course, that's going to be something, right? And out of the hundreds of billions of dollars coming in, I believe that military is priority. And secondary, I believe farmers. Now, this is just me, guys. This is just me. I'm playing command and conquer here. I want my military strong. I want my food sources to be strong. And then we can have happy citizens, being safe, taken care of. And what we need is government that is going to take care of the local stuff. Every county has a mayor. Every city has a mayor. Wait, what does every county have? Yeah. Oh, let me see. Hold on. I don't want to be confusing here. All right, so in Washington State, counties are primarily governed by a board of county commissioners, typically 3 elected officials. Okay, fantastic. And then we have city mayors, okay, and then we have the governor. The governor's role is to meet, which I don't know. I don't know why, it doesn't work that way. That's not the way that a government works over here in the United States of America. But I would like to think that President Trump would love to sit and talk with every governor for every state and try to make a plan to help Americans have a better economy, more success, et cetera, et cetera. I feel that it would be in our best interest here in Washington State. I would love to sit down, if I went to be governor, I would love to sit down with every single mayor of every city. And I would like to discuss their policies and what they are doing to make our state great. And if they're not making our state great, we'll talk about it. And you say, well, Dennis, how the hell are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? That Trump is already rich, Eric. Stop hating. If you knew how to invest, you too will be getting rich. If you knew how to tighten your belt in times of lacking, you too will have a great return in investment. The suing, if you don't understand, I want you to answer this question, Eric. This is for you, Eric, and anybody that agrees with Eric. You guys have been saying this to me quite a few times lately, and I've been meaning to address it. You guys said that President Donald Trump is suing Americans. Very interesting. Why do you say that? Why do you say that Trump is suing Americans? Give it to me. Let's see. Don't worry, Tanya. The doctor will understand. He's probably also on this live stream watching. That's funny. Thank God eyes will get paid. Yes, sirree. We need them to get paid. Why hasn't ICE deported you? Because I'm an American citizen, sucker. Come on, Crystal. Get with the program. Learn who is getting deported. He said he's owed, and he is. Absolutely. But tell me, when the Attorney General for every state decides to sue President Donald Trump, whose money do they use to sue President Donald Trump? It's what I thought.
A profit in a single year, but that development might have been created over 5 years. We believe this income should be averaged over the life of the project to more accurately reflect the income generated over time. We urge you to not move forward with this legislation, but if you do, we believe these issues must be addressed. Thank you.
Chair Robinson and committee members, I'm Michelle Wilms with the Associated General Contractors, and AGC is opposed to this bill. This bill is described as a tax on millionaires, but in reality, it's a tax on businesses organized as LLCs, partnerships, and S-corps. For pass-through entities such as construction, that revenue is actually working capital, not personal wealth. Contractors use those funds as a rainy day fund for payroll, materials, new equipment, bonding, insurance.
If you are okay with taxpayer dollars going to sue Trump, you should be okay with Trump suing back.
And to help pay when owners.
Fair game, baby, fair game.
Owners do not pay in a timely manner. A CPARB study shows that 80% of contractors experience delay in payments, means that they don't have the funds to pay their employees, so that they need to float themselves alone. This bill will make it harder for small and mid-sized contractors, including many DBEs, to remain competitive in Washington state. Please oppose this bill.
Thank you, Chair and members of the committee, for the opportunity to testify.
And the Attorney General is what? He's still an American citizen with the same rights as we have. He deserves more respect than you and I, and yet you people don't give it to him. So what's up? You belong in jail if you think he belongs in jail.
With concerns on Senate Bill 6346. For the record, my name is Andrea Ray, and I'm here on behalf of the thousands of restaurants and hotels in every district across our state that employ hundreds of thousands of your constituents. These are family-owned restaurants and small hotels run by people who live in the communities they serve. Your friends, your neighbors. These are not corporations with reserves. These are small business owners deciding whether they can keep staff through the slow season or make payroll without going into debt. Most hospitality businesses are LLCs or S-corps, and what appears as income is often money held to
Aztec, it is.
cover payroll and survive volatility. This proposal taxes that retained business revenue while leaving large corporate compensation structures untouched. We respectfully ask the committee to pause and work with us towards a fair solution.
Yes, my name is Troy Schmiel, chair of the committee. I'm a locally owned, family-owned home building company. I'm testifying opposed because, as written, this tax law would destroy local and family-owned businesses and reduce my ability to deliver housing units. Most concerning in the bill is the bill's treatment of carry-back, carry-forward provisions. The average project I do takes 3 to 5 years before we make a profit. I often leave the profit in the company for growth. And written, it would penalize long-term investment. Perhaps equally concerning is how the marriage penalty would impact my family business. In my case, both my wife and I work in the company. If the business made $1 million, $500,000 each, we'd be subject to the tax. With the marriage penalty, this is really a $500,000 tax, not a millionaire's tax as advertised. Additionally, the charitable contribution limit would impact my ability to support local nonprofits. Please do not pass this legislation as currently written, as it has serious unintended consequences. Thank you.
Vice Chair Frame, Ranking Member Gildon, members of the committee, for the record, Max Martin here on behalf of the Association of Washington Business in opposition to Senate Bill 6346.
Well, the problem is that I'm not going to stand by and allow Democrats to weaponize the government and then bitch about the same government being weaponized against them. I'm not going to complain and let these tards tell me that it's okay for them to sue President Donald Trump with taxpayer dollars, but it's not okay for Trump to defend himself and do the same thing back to them. What's the deal? Why is there so much hypocrisy on the Democratic Party? What the hell is wrong with you people? If you don't start nothing, there won't be nothing. We have a democracy that you guys so much cherish, you say. We won. We get 4 years. Shut the hell up, sit down, and if you're not going to help, get the hell out the way and let us do the work. It's very simple. Very simple. If you don't want to waste money, get rid of social programs for illegal immigrants and support 100% for Americans. that work for those who qualify, not for freeloaders, not for lazy ass people.
While this proposal is framed as targeting high earners, we're concerned about the real-world impacts on small and medium-sized businesses organized like S-Corps, LLCs, and
Cotton Edge, thanks for your love and your support. Much love, man. Have a good one, buddy. We'll see you next time.
other pass-through entities. In practice, a tax aimed at individuals could become a new tax on employers, including businesses that may have a strong year on paper.
Eric, I know you liked that one, didn't you?
But need cash to reinvest into their business or weather volatility. This is coming at a time when many employers are still absorbing last session's operating cost increases. We appreciate the business tax relief included here, but we believe Washington can do more to support small and medium-sized businesses, strengthen competitiveness, and expand economic opportunities. For those reasons, we respectfully oppose Senate Bill 6346 and look forward to working with lawmakers. Thank you.
Tim Hyman from Kirkland. The most obscene thing about the bill is it takes money away from people who...
Tariffs are for the federal government, not for states. And if you supported President Trump instead of fighting him, we'll be so much better off today. But instead, we have to keep wasting billions and billions of dollars every day, every month, every time that we have to fight for our country. The people on the left just keep fighting us for no reason. You guys are costing this country billions and billions of dollars, yet complain about billions of dollars being invested overseas on other nations, helping them out, putting America first by doing all that. It's not just talk, my friend. I don't go out there and start clowning on President Trump because of tariffs. I can't go do that if I'm okay with taxes being implemented on me by the governor and the mayors. I can't do that. So the reason why I complain about the local states and taxes is because tariffs are actually bringing, the way President Trump and the administration is doing is bringing prices down. And why is it that blue cities and states keep raising prices up? Why is that? Riddle me that. Why is it? And don't give me none of this talk is cheap. You see it happening. Gas in states that work with the government, with President Donald Trump, has gone down as $1.99, maybe $2 right now. And we are going up. It went all the way down to $3.19. How do you think that happened from $5.67 a gallon? And now we are back to $4.19 a gallon. It's not the tariffs, my friend. A whole year of tariffs, and we saw the prices going down. And every time a new tax from the local government goes into effect, everything starts climbing back up. Explain that to me. It's not the other side. This is my side. This is my state. This is my city. This is my county. There is no red or blue side to me. But unfortunately, so that you can understand, the blue Democrats are the ones destroying Washington. When will he fix it? It's not his job. It's the governor's job. It's the mayor's job. Why don't you blame the socialists who keep blowing away all the budget? $130-something billion in debt in Washington state. And it has nothing to do with tariffs. Let that sink in for a moment. Let that sink in there for a moment. $130 billion in debt in Washington state. It has nothing to do with tariffs. Explain that to me. You're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to explain it to me. But what I want is for you to hold your party accountable for what they're doing. That's all I ask. Stop blaming Donald Trump to come and fix all the problems that you yourselves don't want to help fix. Stop fighting us. Stop fighting us and start fighting for your country. You can't have your cake and eat it too, my friends. Guys, if you've been with me, thank you for the likes. Thanks for subscribing. My love to all of you. When I become governor of Washington State, I will prove to you that it's not Trump's fault. Many governors are doing a great job in their states because they are working with Trump and the administration. Many blue states and cities are losing because they fight against the very people who fight for their freedom. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless the USA. American people, you got to wake up. Stop letting Democrats lie to you. Forget about the party. Start thinking about your country. Remember famous words. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And with that, my friends, God bless you. Have a good night.